Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Unbiased Self, The Psychology of Overcoming Cognitive Bias by Erin Devers. Narrated by Erin Devers. Introduction. We want to be right, and we want to feel good about ourselves. Since I began teaching social psychology in 2007, I have told students on each first day that social psychological research can help us explain approximately 95% of human behavior with one of two possible explanations. Students then proceed to quiz me on any number of strange human behaviors they have witnessed, with questions ranging from, why did people storm the Capitol in the spring semester of 2021, to, why did the Duggars decide to have so many kids? My answer to the why did they do this question is either people truly believe they are doing the right thing, or the behavior builds their self-esteem, or sometimes both explanations contribute to the behavior. I have students repeat, we want to be right, and we want to feel good about ourselves, over and over during the course of the semester to remind them that these are the most common explanations for human behavior. These two motives contribute to bias, and recognizing these motives is the first step to pursuing a less biased self. Most students enter the class assuming that bias is something to do with racism and does not affect them. But bias, defined as systematic error in thinking, is much broader than racism, and it affects all of us. On one of my favorite podcasts, Hidden Brain, Shankar Vedantam shares the story of a young man who came from a rural part of Pennsylvania. He had many advantages in childhood, but those advantages did not include a family history of Ivy League graduates. When he was accepted with early admission to Harvard University in the fall of 2016, it was life-changing good news for him and his parents. He received notoriety in his small town, and the possibilities that awaited him defied imagination. When he was given the opportunity to meet his fellow classmates from Harvard's class of 2021 by participating in a group chat, he was eager to start making friends. This eagerness was in part fueled by his sense that he did not quite feel worthy of his admission or equal in caliber to the other students. His involvement in the main group chat of the new admits led to the sharing of memes. To get more validation from the other participants in the chat, the memes he and the other group members posted became more and more provocative and offensive over time. In retrospect, this young man from rural Pennsylvania felt anxiety, even when he was posting them, because his eagerness to be liked was tinged with sick feelings of guilt. When Harvard got wind of the behavior in the group chat, the newly admitted students had their admissions revoked. Only by that time, it was April, and the possibility of applying to other colleges had passed. The shock and sadness of the parents of these students was only paled by the depressed feelings experienced by the students themselves. During class, I pause at this moment in the storytelling and ask my students to make predictions of what thoughts will pass through the mind of the rejected Harvard student from Pennsylvania. Many students think he will blame Harvard. Based on the pressure to maintain self-esteem, it would make sense to discount the severity of his behavior and blame Harvard. He can tell himself, I am still a good person. There is something wrong with Harvard. In this case, though, I urge the students to consider the magnitude of what happened and what would be the best way for this no longer Ivy League student to think about this event. Actually, the young man does not blame Harvard. He even says that if he had been a member of Harvard's admissions staff, he would have done the same thing. He learned that he needs other people to point out when he's making a mistake, because he now knows that he is capable of making mistakes that have big consequences. He applied to colleges the next year and made the risky decision to include the description of his revoked admission to Harvard in his application essays. He applied to many Ivy League schools, and on the day that he was rejected from all of them, his parents came to show.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?